Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Golf Live. I'm Jessica Marksbury, and it feels great to be back in our New York City studio. We've got a fantastic lineup in store for you today as we preview the third major championship of the year, the British Open, which is being played at Royal Birkdale in Southport, England for the 10th time. Coming up, our own Alan Shipnuck reflects on last year's classic shootout to end the British Open. We'll hear from last year's champion, Henrik Stenson, about what it was like going one-on-one with Phil Mickelson in what is considered by many as the greatest final round battle in Open history. Later on in the show, Golf.com's Jeff Ritter sits down with Golf Channel's Brandel Chamblee to get his predictions for this week. Ryan Aselta has a look at what's trending with some of golf's biggest apparel brands, and I get a bartending lesson from Justin Rose, just in time for you all to prep for your British Open viewing parties this weekend. Did I mention we have a packed show today? Because we do, and it's going to be awesome. Before we get to all of that, though, I'm delighted to be joined in our studio by Golf.com's Sean Zock. Sean, thank you. Always great to have you here. Now, of course, this is kind of a trend as we go through the major championship season. The week before, we always think, okay, whoever has won coming into this major championship is automatically the favorite. Now, in this case, it's Rafa Cabrera-Bello from the Scottish Open. Is that always the case, though? Is there a tie to be made between the Scottish Open and performance in the British Open?
Performance doesn't necessarily translate week to week. We see that on the PGA Tour, we see it on the European Tour, we see it on just about every tour. It's hard to string wins together. So he's playing great golf. I don't know if Rafa is necessarily the favorite just because he won, he came back to win. But you definitely see guys that have success in the British Open are really guys that play in the Scottish Open. They play links courses that kind of just get them ready. They get them suited for windy golf, weather and conditioned heavy golf. You know, it's different than they see in Florida, in California, and the Parkland courses all over the PGA Tour. They get themselves ready and kind of acclimated and see if their game adapts to what links golf asks for. Yeah,
we're seeing more and more often. It's not just guys going from Scottish Open to British Open. They're coming in for the Irish Open too and spending the better part of a month overseas before the third major championship of the year.
Well, the majors that's where they want to peak. And if they're not really akin to links golf, a lot of guys, they want to get some experience with it, especially the Americans. They didn't grow up playing links golf. They want to get themselves acclimated with it, see what pot bunkers will do to their game, handle pot bunkers, handle long fescue, and handle windy golf. And if they can handle it all, then they know they're ready for the British Open.
As you said, it's very different over there than it is with American golf courses. What do you think about this course and what type of player that it will favor this week?
Well, since we know that it's going to be windy, it's not going to be drastically windy, but it will be windy. You know, guys that typically bomb it off the tee, your Dustin Johnsons, your Rory McIlroys, even Jason Day, I don't think that they're going to have that same advantage this week because not only with wind, it's also a pretty tight course off the tee. The fescue kind of limits the fairways. There's a lot of bunkers out there. The creative bunkering of this course makes it tough to aim off the tee. And if you add wind and weather conditions to that, it kind of takes away the guys that bomb at 320, 330 off the tee. So I think it tends to favor guys that will be long and straight, but more straight than long. Guys that can get out there in the fairway, have a really good look at a green, and if they're an elite ball striker, they're going to give themselves just all kinds of chances at birdie.
Okay, so let's look back at our two overseas winners, right? We have Jon Rahm and Rafa. Two excellent players. I think they would top a lot of people's lists when it comes to maybe, favorites.
Two Spaniards, too.
Two Spaniards, exactly. So are they disqualified because they've won so recently? We just said, no, it's not going to happen this many weeks in a row.
Well, not disqualified because remember 2013, Phil Mickelson wins both. So he kind of had the back-to-back victories. Jon Rahm is an elite player, top 10 player in the world. You would never be surprised if he would win this event because his game is just really, really well suited to winning on any kind of golf course. So I don't think we're ready to ex-nay those guys, to keep them away from victory here. It's just tough to keep that form going and going and going week to week. But if anyone's going to do it, it's probably going to be some European player like a Spaniard who grew up playing links golf and knows what it requires of their game.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned yet another Spaniard. Could it be Sergio? Now, I can't let you go. I know we're almost out of time, but you got to give me a pick. Sergio, I just kind of threw that little pick out there.
I'll take that and run with it because
Okay.
Sergio Garcia is playing the best golf of his life. We know that to be true. He played really well, wins the Masters, played well again at the U.S. Open. Didn't necessarily contend, but the guy has not missed a cut since the PGA of last year. That's almost 12 straight months of made cuts. So he's obviously a contender by that default standard. I think you have to like his game. Ball striker, long and straight off the tee. That's how he played Augusta National in victory. So if you're going to ask me for a pick, and you're going to have all these things that say Sergio, 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 I don't think I'm not going to depart from that logic.
Well, we are on a first-time major winner streak at the moment,
Yeah.
so it would be interesting to see someone have 2 majors in the same season. You never know.
I'd be into it.
You never know. Well, Sean, thank you so much, as always, for your time. We appreciate it. When we return, Jeff Ritter sits down with Golf Channel's Brandel Chamblee to talk about some of the recent headlines he's made and get his predictions for the Open Championship. But first, I recently had a chance to grab a drink with one of the game's finest players, and I also got a lesson in how to make the perfect old-fashioned, just in time for you to serve at your British Open viewing party this weekend. Hey, it's easier than you think. Check it out. If you're wondering what to serve at your Open Championship viewing party, we have just the solution for you. Justin Rose and David Blackmore are here, and they're going to teach us how to make an old-fashioned out of Glenmorangie. So guys, we're going to take our lessons from you.
So what I've started off with is a bar spoon of simple syrup into the glass, and we're going to take Angostura bitters, a couple of dashes of Angostura.
Is this something that you would have, Justin?
Yeah, absolutely.
You like an old-fashioned?
I do. This would be my my go-to pre-dinner drink. If I was waiting on someone at the bar and I had a few minutes and wanted just to have a drink to myself, this would be my go-to for sure.
Okay.
Dash of water into both.
Just out of interest, after dinner though, I'd probably head more for there's a nectar door, which is one of my personal favorites, and I'd probably have that neat, or maybe just over one rock.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. Is there a rule with the older one? Like, should you drink the older stuff before dinner or after? Is the older stuff more like a port where you would want just like a little bit afterwards, or how does that work?
I don't think there's any hard and fast rule. I think that is the rule. The rule is that there's no rules. It's a personal preference.
Yep.
But I think that typically that's the way I would choose to do it. The more refined the whiskey, the more I'd want to take my time and enjoy it maybe later on in the evening.
Yes. Always sipping, right? You're not guzzling this
Absolutely,
stuff.
responsible drinking. We take a lot of pride in making this single malt. It takes a long time to make it, so appreciate every drop. Responsible. So here we go.
Okay.
All right.
Glenmorangie.
Wow.
Old-fashioned.
Cheers. Let's have a try.
And in Scots Gaelic, cheers. We say cheers by saying Slàinte
Slàinte.
Slàinte.
That is delicious.
It is, isn't it?
Slàinte to you.
Slàinte to you
and
too.
thank you so much, David.
Thank you. Yeah. Awesome.
Oh yes. This will be hard to just sip. Let me tell you.
Welcome back to Golf Live. I'm Jeff Ritter. Pleased to be joined here in studio by Golf Channel analyst Brandel Chamblee.
Jeff,
thanks for stopping in.
Thanks for having me.
Great
It's
to see
always
ya.
nice to come
Yeah.
up here and see you guys at Golf Magazine and Golf.com. It's great.
We appreciate you taking the time, and I thought I'd welcome you today. I have something for you. It's a little gift.
You didn't have to do that.
I know I
mean,
didn't.
my birthday was last week.
But I did.
Thank you.
We did. We want to take care of you. I thought we'd kick it off with a little.
goodness.
I have headlines for you.
Oh, goodness.
These are ripped from the pages of Golf.com. This first one is from
Let's see
July
what
2nd.
Yes.
So just over a week ago.
That's my birthday.
The headline screams. It's your birthday.
That was my birthday,
Okay, no
July
kidding.
2nd.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Yes.
The headline screams, quote, Brandel Chamblee calls anchor ban enforcement on Champions Tour, quote, appalling.
Yes.
This is for you.
Okay,
That's yours.
Thank you. Thank you.
Second headline.
Yes.
This is a week later, July 9th.
Yes.
Brandel Chamblee, quote, Rahm broke the rule. He should have been penalized.
Well, that's the way. Thank you
Ripped
very
from
much.
the pages of Golf.com.
Yes, this is the way we work. You know, it seems like there's a controversy every week with regard to the anchor ban. Yeah, it's still appalling. You know, I've talked to Scott and Bernard Langer and Thomas Pagel and McLaughlin and Brian Clare and all of them. And, you know, look, they're not breaking the rule. They say they're not breaking the rule, you know. And nobody questions Bernard Langer's integrity. He's a marvelous human being. But the fact remains that it looks like they're breaking the rule. So if it looks like you're tapping down spike marks and it looks like you're grounding your club in a bunker or in a hazard, and it looks like you're moving your ball on the green, it's not enough for you to say, trust me, I'm not. It's just not enough. You have to demonstrate clearly that you're not. And Scott and Bernard Langer are unwilling to clearly demonstrate that they're not. In other words, there needs to be space between the top of their hand and the shirt. And then the USGA should go rewrite the rule because it's vague and unenforceable. With this, you know, Rahm did break the rule. He should have been penalized. You know, people on Twitter and even in some headlines, they would say, Brandel said Rahm has no integrity. I never said that at all. I said the integrity of the championship has been brought into question, and the dynamic of the competition has changed because they didn't penalize him. He had a 5-shot lead. He should have had a 3-shot lead. He should have been penalized. You know, I think it was a knee-jerk reaction to the rules official not administering a tough rule. It would have been a tough rule, especially coming on the heels of what happened to Lexi Thompson.
Yeah.
But that was done correctly, what happened to Lexi.
Right.
It was,
This was the classic overcorrection.
This was a classic overcorrection, which happens in the game of golf. People overcorrect all the time. It's happened with regard to the rules eons ago. It happened, you know, there's many, many instances of it. So, and this is one of them. You know, look, he won. He's an amazing player. He's one of my favorite players in the game of golf. I love watching Jon Rahm. I did not, if you're watching this, Jon Rahm, question your integrity. I did not.
There it is, John.
Did not. Your integrity is intact.
Let's talk about the British Open. The way I see it, so men's golf is riding this trend right now, first-time major winners, they're breaking through. And the way I see this one shaping up is you look at the guys that are the established stars with multiple major wins. Rory McIlroy is battling his way back from a rib injury right now. He's not quite all the way there. Spieth is kind of up and down this year. Jason Day, MIA. Dustin Johnson, maybe he was out celebrating with Brooks Koepka after the Open. I see it kind of shaping up to be another opportunity for a first-time major winner. What do you think?
Well, I think that's a good take, you know, and I would go right to Jon Rahm as, you know, a likely candidate to do just that.
Who now knows how to mark his ball properly, we think, right?
Hey, listen, I promise you, I've done that. Everybody's mismarked a golf ball. You know, by the way, that's as much on his caddy as anything. His caddy's supposed to be there. When you move your mark and you do it with a club, your caddy's supposed to remind you of that. So in the heat of the moment, it's easily done. But I would agree with you. Ricky Fowler would be another one that you could easily look at. I picked him to win the U.S. Open. He certainly contended. He's the best player out there statistically. So either of those would be easy. You know, hey, Patrick Reed, heck of a player. He's also playing on the Scottish Open this week. Justin Thomas, a heck of a player. At some point, this trend of first-time winners will end. And, you know, the question is, who's it most likely to fall on that has previously won a major championship that is going to win a major championship? And, you know, I think it's likely to be this one, personally.
Who is your, before we go, who is your pick? And please don't change it on the air on Golf Channel.
Oh, my goodness.
Stay with this one.
Oh, well, I'll try. Sergio Garcia is, you know, his best major is the Open Championship. You know, throughout his career, you know, if the euphoria has subsided and he can get there with his wits about him, this could be literally just almost an homage to what happened in 1976 with Seve breaking out of the pack. It could be Jon Rahm and Sergio Garcia. You know, Sergio Garcia, links golf perfectly fits Sergio Garcia.
Yeah.
I've looked ahead. The weather next week is supposed to be hot and windy. And and he's, you know, he's in full stride. He just won again, you know, a couple weeks ago, and so, you know, I look at those players, and along with, I can't wait to see what Brooks Koepka comes back with, because sneaky. If you just do yourself a favor, I mean, Google Brooks Koepka, go down to the bit about major championships, and then look at that record. I mean, he may have surprised a lot of people watching the U.S. Open and went, where this guy came from. This guy has been doing nothing but the last 15 majors, but going 4th, 5th, 6th, 11th, 17th, 1st. I mean, amazing. And his ball striking at the U.S. Open was unlike, statistically, anything we've ever seen in the U.S. Open, ever. And that's going back a long way.
Yeah.
So,
but there can only be one, and your one pick is Sergio.
My one pick is Jon Rahm.
Is Rahm? Okay, go back to Rahm.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going with Patrick Reed.
Yeah.
I just want to get that. I want to get that.
I like that. I like that. That would be a very popular win. You know, he'll wear Ryder Cup pants on Saturday and Sunday.
I would guess he will.
Yeah, he will, because that's what he does.
Well, Brandel, we'll leave it there. Thanks for joining us.
My
we
pleasure.
look forward to your coverage this week.
Thank you so much.
All right.
It's always fun to cover the Open. Always fun to be here.
Thank you.
Before we get too carried away looking ahead to this Open Championship, I want to look back at one of the great golf tournaments I've ever witnessed. It's been almost a year since Phil Mickelson and Henrik Stenson's classic shootout at Royal Troon. The reason that championship was so satisfying is because these kind of shootouts are so rare. To get two of the best players in the world in full flight, competing shot for shot for the entirety of the final round is such great theater. J.B. Holmes finished third, a whopping 14 shots behind Stenson. Phil Mickelson shot a bogeyless 65 on Sunday and got blown off the golf course by Stenson. As good as Justin Rose and Sergio Garcia's duel at the Masters was, it doesn't compare to the level of golf that Stenson and Mickelson played. And for 40 years, we've mythologized the Jack Nicklaus, Tom Watson shootout at Turnberry. And yet, if you just look at the pure golf, what Stenson and Mickelson did was more impressive, and even Jack said so. So sure, Stenson may repeat, but more likely than not, we're going to get a new champion golfer of the year. Before he loses his title as champion golfer of the year, one more tip of the cap to Henrik Stenson, who gave us a show we'll never forget.
All right, welcome back to Golf Live. I'm Ryan DeSelton. It's time now for another edition of The Winning Look, and I'm very happy to be joined again by the co-founder of Dress for the Day, Anisha Mukherjee. And Anisha, thanks for being here. We got a lot to talk about. We're in the middle of the summer. We're going to talk about some of the hottest new summer styles in golf, as well as some cool technology that can help some of the golfers, especially this week, the British Open. They got a little wind, a little rain. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to break it down. We have some help here with a few models, so let's get right to it and take a look at our first model. Anisha, what is he wearing today?
Sounds great. So our first model today is Mario. He is wearing Lacoste head to toe. Let's start with his shirt. This is the Lacoste Sport Fine Stripe Golf Polo. What I love about this shirt, Ryan, is it's ultra dry, ultra lightweight, perfect for those hot summer days, of course. And we've paired it with some shorts from the Lacoste Sport collection. These are the stretch gabardine golf shorts. Very comfortable, very lightweight, as the name indicates, or very stretchy. Can't go wrong with that. And to finish off the look, we have some Lacoste canvas sneakers in navy and merlot, two of my favorite colors for men this season.
And Lacoste really going big into the golf game right now. Their golf ambassador is Daniel Berger, who recently won on the PGA Tour, and they're the official provider, outfit provider of the President's Cup, which is coming in New York soon at the end of September, early October. So a lot to be excited about with Lacoste and what we're seeing right here.
Maybe you'll see another fashion show in September. Let's see. So what I love about this outfit, Ryan, is the blue and black stripe detailing on the shirt. It's trendy yet still subtle enough for the golf course. Like we mentioned, the shorts are nice and comfortable, have some good room for fit on the course. And if it gets a little colder, rainy out on the course, you just throw a little light jacket over it and you have a nice layering option.
And a key, Anisha, that I'm seeing in those shorts especially, slimming. That seems to be the trend.
Absolutely.
Much further opposite than the old style of the pleated baggy golf shorts, right?
That is right. Very chic, very functional. He looks fantastic.
All right, thanks a lot, Mario. Let's bring out our next model. That's Dale, who looks like a football player because he used to be a football player, right?
Well, that is right, Ryan. Dale is a former NFL wide receiver, but today he is our model extraordinaire. He is wearing an Alberto Golf polo shirt. This is from the Cool line, which means it is temperature regulating. So the humidity moves outwards, keeping him nice and cool on the inside. Very breathable fabric. He's also wearing Alberto Golf Slim Fit, again with the Slim Fit, pants in this amazing Kelly green color. These offer 360 degrees of movement, very elastic, and they are water repellent. We know what an issue rain can be across the pond, so these would be a great option for whichever players can get their hands on them this weekend. And we got to talk about the fresh white kicks. These are the Lacoste sneakers. They are the Spirit Elite, and I love just the cool, crisp, cool whiteness of them. Wardrobe staple for sure.
Yeah, and the pants just pop.
They do.
Color this time of year, it works, right, Anisha?
Absolutely. I mean, this is one of my favorite colors all year round. It's not just a spring and summer color. I think it works in the winter and the fall as well. I'm going to drop some knowledge on you, give you a little science lesson about the pants.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So they are environmentally friendly. The membrane of these pants is actually made from hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen. So completely ecologically produced, no harmful materials were used, very sustainable. So, you know, what's not to love about them?
Who knew they were making environmentally friendly pants these days, but very cool to see that. Another cool part of these pants that I've noticed since I got them on myself here,
Yes.
the silicone not only in the pocket to keep your glove in, but all the way around the waistline here, which is so frustrating when you're a golfer. You're halfway through your round and you look and it's just slipping out the back.
I can
this
imagine.
keeps everything tucked in,
Nice
right?
and tight, nice and tucked in, no slip on the waistband, no golf glove slips on the pockets.
Very cool stuff. Well, thanks a lot, Dale. Let's bring out our next model, and that's Eileen. She's also wearing Lacoste, sporting a blue look with the gray shoes today.
That's right. Last but not least, we have Eileen, got to represent for the ladies, Ryan. She is wearing a Lacoste Sport petite stretch polo dress. This is a nice navy and cobalt blue detailing on the sleeve as well. I love the button pocket, the piping outline, really beautifully crafted. And of course, she's got some fabulous Lacoste sneakers. These are also the Spirit Elites, but these are in an amazing metallic color combo. So we have the gray silver and the rose gold, one of my favorite colors again. And not only are they cute, but they are heat sealed and they have a rubber outsole to prevent any skids or slips.
Lacoste has been big in the game of tennis for many, many years. You can see the connection. That looks like you could wear that on the tennis court, on the golf course, or watching either of the two, right?
That is right. Wimbledon just wrapped up. This would have been a perfect outfit for that.
Very, very cool stuff. We got some great looks here, some great technology, some innovative stuff that we got to see today from Alberto and Lacoste. Let's bring all the models back out. Eileen, Mario, and Dale, thank you guys so much. And the cool stuff about this, of course, Anisha, is these are looks anyone can wear. The pros can wear these. You'll see these looks on television in different tournaments, but you or me, if we're just going out to play around, watch around, maybe go to Topgolf and hang out.
Oh, yeah.
This works straight across the board, right?
That's right. You more of the avid golfer, me more as the avid spectator. I can say with confidence, each and every one of these looks fashionable and functional.
Now, Alberto Golf was kind enough to outfit me today. I got those cooler pants, the Dry Comfort Polo going on. We also have the Lacoste Carnaby sneakers, which are super comfortable,
They look
super
great.
stylish as well. So I get to look like one of these guys, I guess, sort of, for a little while with the outfit, and not quite pulling off the pro golfer look, but some great outfits, some great technology. Thank you, Anisha. It was a lot of fun, as usual. And thanks again to all of our models, and of course, Lacoste and Alberto Golf for outfitting all of us here. Now, of course, we mentioned the Open Championship this week over at Royal Birkdale. Henrik Stenson heads to England as the defending champion after last year's thrilling duel with Phil Mickelson. Well, I recently caught up with the champion golfer of the year who talked about his new life as a major winner.
It's a dream come true to win a major championship and especially to win the Open Championship. As a European, that was the one I started watching when I was a kid. Some of my first television golfing memories are from watching the Open. So it's been busier, more demand on my time. I've been trying to fight that off as good as I can. But I mean, in the bigger picture, it's great. I don't get tired of looking at the claret jug, that's for sure. Regardless of how I would have played, just to get your name on or get my name on that trophy, that was the most important thing that day. Then of course it was a bonus to go out and play as well as I did and have such a great battle with Phil over the last day and a half and managed to take him down man against man and break championship records and get your name in the history books like that. That's special. It was a bit of a painful moment for him, of course. He had a great chance to win a second claret jug and I kind of came in the way of that. And at the same time, I think we've both gone through ups and downs. We've had good moments and bad moments throughout our careers, and I think it's easier to accept defeat when you play as well as he did and being beaten by someone who has a phenomenal day like I had. So it's not something we talk a lot about. I got a lot of respect for Phil as a player and as a person, and we kind of move on. It's new tournaments, it's new prizes to be won. So I think we're both trying to look ahead and try and put ourselves in that position once again. When it's game time, it's game time. I mean, I'm trying my hardest to play my best. I mean, you can't be focused for 4 hours straight. When I play my best, I'm super focused when I'm hitting the shots and being into the moment there, and then I relax away from it, and then when I'm walking, I'm talking with my playing partners, with my caddy. You got to switch off then, because otherwise it's going to drain you, and the most tired you are, that's really when you're playing bad, and those are the rounds you're coming in and you're just like mentally drained. So that on and off is crucial, really, and I'm quite laid back and like to have a good time when I'm away from the golf course. I've had a long career, it's been successful, but I've also had some pretty big slumps and ups and downs. So yeah, it's pretty interesting when we put it all together.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's episode of Golf Live, but don't worry, we'll have continued coverage of the British Open on Golf.com throughout the championship. Enjoy the week.